Jonathan, what is our first main topic today?
All right, our first main topic comes from Benimus Prime. Hey, John, love the show. It was just revealed that the runtime for Transformers Rise of the Beast is 1 hour and 57 minutes, making it 3 minutes longer than Bumblebee. I know you've said that longer doesn't equal better, and I know that a common complaint of the Bay Transformers movies was the runtime. But this runtime feels too short for a movie with 3 new Transformers factions and Unicron. What are your thoughts on this? Thanks for all you do.
All right, Benimus Prime, thanks a lot for writing that in. And yes, listen, Transformers movies, the one thing you can always count on is they will have great trailers. The movies may turn out to be sickening garbage, but you can count on the trailers being awesome. And Transformers Rise of the Beasts, which I'm still confused why they didn't just do Bumblebee 2, to be honest with you. But Transformers Rise of the Beasts, I wasn't super interested in it. Then the first trailer came out. I thought it was lights out. And then they played the new trailer at CinemaCon showing Unicron. I'm like, okay, I'm in. I mean, it's probably going to turn out to be a hot mess, just like the other Transformers movies. But you got me. This looks like it could be a lot of fun. So I'm completely on board. Well, we just got the official runtime, which is 1 hour and 57 minutes. Okay. So you asked the first thing I want to address here about that you wrote in was, hey, that might be kind of short, just a hair under 2 hours, considering that we've got, the Maximals and we've got like these other groups. We got to introduce Unicron. I don't know if 2 hours is long enough. I always come back to this, but think about it for a minute. You know how long the original Star Wars movie was? 2 hours. You had to introduce Luke Skywalker. You had to introduce Han Solo. You had to introduce Obi-Wan Kenobi. You had to introduce Chewbacca, C-3PO, R2-D2, Princess Leia, Grand Moff Tarkin, Biggs, Wedge, Porkins, Rogue, whatever. And you had to introduce the whole concept of the Empire. You had to introduce the concept of the Rebellion. You had to this is the first time we ever had this entire universe. You had to introduce whatever the Death Star was, all that kind of stuff. When that movie started, we didn't know any of it. And yet, in a 2-hour movie, they easily introduced all those things. You know why? Because George Lucas was a filmmaker and a storyteller at the height of his powers, and he was able to tell that story and introduce us to all these things in a 2-hour story. If you're a good filmmaker, you can do that. If you're a weaker filmmaker, you need more and more and more time. Not that longer movies mean you're a weaker filmmaker, but I mean, if you're a skilled tactician of a storyteller, you can tell a great story. Star Wars did it. Greatest movie of all time, did it in 2 hours. With the world of Transformers, we already know so much about it. We get a lot of the things with the Transformers, and now they're just adding a couple of new pieces. So do I think 2 hours is too short for a Transformers movie? Not at all. I don't think that is. Now, listen, I may watch the movie and then say, man, that movie did feel rushed. I might watch the movie at 2 hours and think they could have cut 25 minutes out of this. So we just don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
As long as they concentrate on the robots, like I don't want to see any relationship stuff. Like maybe they cut all the extra stuff out. Like I don't want to see a story with a human falling in love with a human. I just want to see robot stuff. Like the only relationship I want to see is between the kid, the new guy, and his robot. That's it. I don't need all the extra stuff that Michael Bay had in his. Just give me the robots.
But how else are you going to have some girl in overly tight, skinny shorts leaning over a motorcycle into an engine? I mean, what's going on? Okay, so let's do this for a second. Let's actually take a look at the runtime of the Transformers movies, because something pretty interesting kind of comes up. So the first Transformers movie, which I liked, by the way, I really liked the first Transformers movie.
It was good. It was fun.
Yeah, I thought Michael Bay did a great job on the first one. That movie is 2 hours and 24 minutes. Age of Extinction was 2 hours and 45 minutes, which was garbage. Revenge of the Fallen, which was garbage, was 2 hours and 30 minutes. Dark of the Moon, which was garbage, was 2 hours and 34 minutes. The Last Night, which was garbage, was 2 hours and 29 minutes. And Bumblebee, which was great.
Yes.
Bumblebee was great at 1 hour and 54 minutes. I want to point out, what's the best movie on that list? That's a subjective question, but for me, I'll give my answer. Best movie on that list by a good margin is Bumblebee.
Yes.
What's the shortest movie on that list? Bumblebee. By a good margin, it's the shortest movie on that list. Again, that's not to say that 2 hours is the right time for Transformers Rise of the Beast. We won't know if that's the right time for it at 1 hour and 57 minutes until we watch it. But again, I just really do believe that length does not equal quality. The right length for the right movie equals quality. Some movies are perfect at 90 minutes. Some movies are perfect at 3 hours. The length, though, in and of itself doesn't tell you whether a movie's good or bad. So, I mean, I can tell you the length of a movie, that'll be Ray Ora's falling asleep point. That I can tell you. But,
Oh, this sounds perfect to me.
yeah, 2 hours sounds
2
good
hours
to
is
me.
great. I mean, what? Let's have a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
It's that 20. It's that 220 that
It's
pushes
that
it for
yeah,
Ray.
it's 220 where I like zone out for 15 minutes.
But again, if you can do this movie, have it be nice, quick, brisk, good, solid pacing, all killer, no filler, I mean, the 2 hours could be perfect. But again, we won't know until we see it. Guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Apparently, the new Transformers movies, Rise of the Beast, is 1 hour, 57 minutes, right around the same length as Bumblebee, coming in just behind it for the second shortest Transformers movie we've had so far. Right runtime, wrong runtime, maybe you do want to see something longer. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, MasterClass. With MasterClass, you can learn from the world's best minds anytime, anywhere, and at your own pace. You can learn filmmaking from James Cameron himself, you know, the guy who made 3 of the 4 biggest films of all time. Improve your writing by taking screenwriting from one of the greatest who's ever done it, Aaron Sorkin. Or maybe learn how to make great comedic content by taking comedy by the one and the only Judd Apatow. And many of you guys know I'm a big poker guy, and I recently got a chance to sit down and watch Daniel Negreanu, one of the greatest poker players in the world, teach poker. It was absolutely fantastic. But guys, whatever you're interested in, there is a class for you with over 180 exclusive classes taught by the instructors you know and love. And you can explore lessons in any order you'd like, across your phone, tablet, Apple TV, computer, and on the go with audio mode. Individual lessons range from about 10 to 15 minutes in length that fit easily into your everyday life. Guys, I highly recommend you check it out. Get unlimited access to every class, and as a John Campea Show listener, you get 15% off an annual membership. Go to masterclass.com/Campea now. That's masterclass.com/Campea for 15% off Masterclass.